Check it out. This video is about a YouTuber named Traplo Ross and his appearance on a No Jumper news segment where Traplo Ross destroys No Jumper host Sharp as well as his coworker Hellcat. For those who don't know, Traplo Ross is known for the long-form documentaries like the King Von documentary, the NBA Youngboy documentary. Most notably, Traplo Ross destroys Sharp in this conversation when Sharp questions Traplo Ross's credibility. And it begins in this conversation where Sharp has a discussion with Traplo Ross about clothing.
Yeah, no, Trap Lord, he was talking about he liked my clothes. He say, man, he liked my swag, right? You was saying that.
I was just saying, man, I feel like you just got the eye for fashion. Like for me, I feel like it take me hours to put together a nice outfit like you got, man. It's head to toe, on point.
Well, appreciate you. But I think it's because I really come from the streets. I done really been around different fashion senses and see how, everybody's dressing. That's probably why it doesn't take me too long. It's easy for me to get that shit together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. As Sharp says, he has a clear eye for fashion after all. When you wear sunglasses indoors, you're going to have clear eyesight. Plus, Sharp says that he's from the streets. Of course you can tell, because based on how long his pants are, he probably got them off from a street clothing center. In that street clothing center, and that's where people donate clothing and other people pick it up, Sharp was probably like, you know what? I like the pants, I like the style, but the size isn't for me. F it. Let me put them on. And for those who are not familiar with those clothing centers, it's like a long line of people with garbage bags trying to wait to get the clothing, any clothing they want, because all they got to do is just grab what they want. But because everybody wants what they want, they got to make sure people are in line with the garbage bags. And you know what's the most popular item people are fighting over in a clothing center, especially one that's funded by donated clothes? Baby clothing. But we know Sharp is no baby, because when you see those pants on Sharp, you're probably like, what are those? Because he couldn't afford money to get LV logo on his pants, so he opted for pants with the V logo. And from what I can tell, and from what you can tell, that V logo is definitely no V-Loan. Now in this next clip, Sharp's coworker Hellcat, or as I like to call her, Reese's Pieces, both Sharp and Hellcat begin to tag team pause on Traplo Ross regarding Traplo Ross's credibility.
Sharp and them don't respect what you do because
I respect you as a man because I don't know, you could be a good family man. You could take care of a lot of business in your actual life. And I applaud you for that. But I just kind of find it hard that, motherfuckers that ain't never really been in street politics or ever really got outside and seen what's going on to make some of these in-depth documentaries is wild. He ain't never came from that shit. He don't even know what that shit feel like. Boy, that shit full of a lot of pain, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? A lot of sorrow. Let that man sleep. Why go throwing alarm clocks in graveyards? I hate that shit.
Now, Hellcat names herself after the car Dodge Challenger Hellcat, which is supposed to be a higher tier version of the Dodge Challenger car. But based on the way she acts, agreeing with Sharp and everything, and becoming somebody who is not as good on the camera, she should rename herself to a lower tiered, which is Scat Pack. And despite what Sharp is saying, he is far from Sharp. Come on, what are Sharp's credentials? He is a pimp from Las Vegas, right? What does a pimp, former pimp from Las Vegas, have something to do with people who are out in Chicago and the gang culture out there and somewhere else outside of Las Vegas, right? So if you are calling out for Traplo Ross for being not credible, how does you, Sharp, have any more weight? You're literally a former pimp out of Las Vegas. You can't tell me the pimp culture is the same as the gang culture whom Traplo Ross covers in his documentaries. The majority of Traplo Ross's research is what's available out there on the internet. He's just taking the time, he's just taking the effort to put it all together in these long documentaries. And let's be honest, I get what Sharp is saying, that somebody from the street culture should be doing this type of work, but a lot of people in the street culture are probably not producing the quality output that Traplo Ross is doing, because I'll be honest, as fans that watch Traplo Ross's work, they're looking for the quality output, right? If the input is maybe somebody who is not from the street culture, yet the output is quality, I think people are going to accept it. So like people say, right, it doesn't matter if the cat is a big cat or a small cat. If the cat catches mice, then it's a good cat. But you may be wondering, why does Sharp have this particular venom against Traplo Ross, right? Why does Sharp has this strong anti-stance against Traplo Ross? Well, it mainly stemmed from this particular interview that Sharp had with this particular individual.
When that nigga did that King Von documentary, that's all he used was tweets. Von was that heavy on
I
Twitter.
think that was Trap Lord
Yeah,
Ross.
the one with the
correct?
small head, the funny looking one, Harry
Yeah,
Potter.
Yeah, Trap Lord Ross did that.
But not a huge fan of Trap Lord Ross. Just don't like it. Some of this
I don't
culture
fuck
vulture
with it.
shit irritates
That,
me.
I don't fuck with that because I feel like Trap Lord Ross is just another fucking fan watching from behind the scenes, and he took something and he capitalized off of
Mm-hmm.
it. I'm not with, especially something that ain't even got nothing to do with him.
Yo, you not
That
even
nigga ain't never
from here.
even been. He ain't never even been through even a piece of that shit.
Bro, they
to even talk
they
about it.
gangsters over there. Why don't he fuck with them niggas over there? Them niggas be street niggas
Trap
over
Lord
there.
Ross, man. Hey, I'm gonna be real with you, nigga. Shame on you, nigga.
Shame on you, bitch ass nigga.
Because I'm gonna be real.
Fuck
you
that
might have,
nigga.
to be real, that was some hoe shit. Because if you really look at the
He's
shit,
a whore, nigga.
you put some shit together that you really don't even know nothing really about.
You don't know shit, nigga.
You gathered all your information off a line, and some niggas that claim they knew, like you try to paint Von nigga as like any
a
of these people.
Demon energy. Here in that interview clip you just saw shows the entire ignorance of Sharp. See, Traplo Ross is taking tweets that King Von made in the open. If they're out in the open and then Traplo Ross reports it, is it Traplo Ross's fault? Not necessarily. I mean, King Von or whoever made those tweets was the originator of those tweets. Like when Traplo Ross does his research, anything that's out in the open, he's just gonna take a closer examination, and if it's worth putting it in the documentary, it's gonna be out there. So sorry, Sharp, if it's out in the open, somebody's gonna take it and have a closer look. Now that you've seen the main reason of Sharp hating on Traplo Ross, let's go back to the 2-on-1 we've been seeing here. Hellcat and Sharp versus Traplo Ross.
Google, bro. Get out in the streets and find out. Go get around some of the people he was actually around. Go be around them. Try to get around his mom, like try to get around some of his family members. Try to go more in depth. Anybody can hop on Google. My son can hop on fucking Google and type in fucking what happened. What do they feel about Von? I'm saying if you're gonna put out that type of shit, put some accuracy to it, homie. Like get out.
F around and find out. That is what seems like what Sharp is suggesting. But here's the thing. I think it just comes down to that Sharp is unfamiliar with Traplo Ross's content. He might have seen maybe some clips. He might have heard from other people what they think of Traplo Ross. But I bet Sharp is not really familiar with Traplo Ross's content. Yeah, we know Traplo Ross. He's part of this wave of YouTubers that make long-form documentaries, extracting clips, extracting interviews, extracting segments to produce this piece of work. I mean, come on. I think Sharp is confusing Traplo Ross with Vlad TV, where DJ Vlad and people affiliated are just going to do interviews. So that's not really Traplo Ross's style. I think that is what Sharp is suggesting, right? Go out in the streets, go interview people. That's not really Traplo Ross's thing. So Sharp is definitely confusing Traplo Ross with people like Vlad TV. So Sharp, if you feel what's out there is missing, why don't you be the change you want to see? But based on the cheap clothes you're wearing, you might be lacking a bit of change. And now we see here where Traplo Ross gives his responses to Sharp's accusations.
I'm trying to come from is truly as like a fan of rap music. So like with the Von documentary, like I didn't set out to be like, yo, I'm going to put dirt on Von's name because I don't like Von or anything like that. Like I really approached that documentary from the perspective of like, I'm a fan of Von's music. I done heard every Von lyric there is, every Von feature. Like I've been a super fan of Von from back when he was alive doing his thing, right? So like for me, my thing is it's like, if these songs, like Von is a Billboard charting artist, okay? He's a mainstream artist. Like he done come from the streets and the most, dangerous, difficult background that you could possibly imagine. But he actually made it to the point where he's making songs on the Billboard charts. And so for me, it's like, I don't claim to be from the streets, but I am a fan and like, I'm good at research. Like I don't claim to be.
Now that is what you call a rebuttal. You see, Traplo Ross is good at research, something Sharp is obviously not good at. So if Traplo Ross is putting out an argument, okay, he puts supporting arguments. Same thing with Sharp. If you put a viewpoint, have supporting viewpoints. So, let's just keep it honest. Sharp is just not good at what Traplo Ross is good at. However, Sharp was not having it and went with this response.
Maybe you don't. See, that's the problem. I'm expecting you to know some shit that you don't.
Sure.
Like, there's a lot of cap in people's rap. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people might say certain things. Hey, he caught 7 bodies, never caught a body in their life. He might even be telling, let me speak.
Of course, yeah,
he
go
might
ahead.
be telling a story. You know how many niggas will pick up the next nigga's story and tell it like they own? You ever had somebody do that to you?
And shit,
and you find the
it's
fuck out
music
that this
every
wasn't
day.
even you. You're really talking about your homeboy the whole time. You know what I'm
hear
saying? Yeah. But this music be impactful, so they'll write it like that. Like, nah, it ain't gonna sound hard if I attempted to try to knock a nigga off. It's gonna sound hard if I got 7 bodies already up under my belt.
So you saying Von was all cap?
Not saying it was all cap, but I can tell you that in rap and maybe in a lot of his, it could have been inflated.
Well, this is the
was
thing though.
past
Did you
rap,
watch
though.
the
It
Did you
could've
watch
been
the Von
inflated.
documentary? Or do you actually see the whole thing? You watch it?
Inflated. Like the inflation we have in this country. I think Sharp's argument, he's talking about the concept of studio gangsters, basically people rapping extreme lyrics of violence, gangster activities, yet the rapper has never actually lived it or part of that lifestyle. However, I think today's rap listener, they're smarter, right? So if some rapper is really rapping about crazy activity and not actually done any of it, people will know. The listener will know. It's out there on the internet. People have better research capabilities. And here's the thing, when people find out, they're just not going to listen to the rapper as much, because here's the thing. People value authenticity, right? So if they find out somebody who's rapping about, let's say, the street life, has never been involved or near the street life, is just not going to feel as credible. It's just like not just music, even like food, right? People want the main ingredient. They want the genuine article. They want authenticity. So I think Sharp's argument is maybe outdated, because today, right now, if people are rapping about things they've never been a part of, people are going to find out quickly, and I hate to say it, they're going to drop that artist and move to someone who raps well and is authentic. Now in this next clip, Sharp's coworker Hellcat begins to ask pointed questions to Trap Lord Ross, possibly even opening the gates of hell.
Actually, aren't doing a good job. Like, let's
Bro,
be
have
real.
you?
Can we
have-
say this
have-
though real
have you
quick,
ever-
though?
Have you
Hold
ever
on,
trapped
hold on.
Sure.
in your life?
I can't say I've ever trapped.
So
All
that's
right,
a no.
Ross.
I can't say I've ever trapped.
Can
But
we
my
say this
name,
real
my
quick,
name
though?
isn't Trapper Ross. It's Trapped Law Ross. It's
Yeah, Trap
folklore,
Law.
Yeah.
I know what it
folklore
is.
related to trap.
I'm just
Trap.
asking.
I know exactly
Yeah,
what
I'm
it
saying,
is.
have you ever shot at anybody, right? Or been shot at?
I can't say I have.
You ever been with a homie that did
I'm glad Trap Lord Ross didn't answer those questions directly, because it's like the Star Wars meme. It's a trap. Now in this next clip, Hellcat as well as Sharp pile on even more to Trap Lord Ross.
Because I'm a fan, because this stuff is on Billboard charts. If this was like some
You a
random
fan
rapper...
of niggas dying?
Hell no. I want, bro, I
Hey,
was
dog,
devastated.
It is not on
I'm
Billboard
devastated
charts
people
that he
dying.
killed 7 niggas. That is not the title on
The
there.
songs
on
are,
number
though.
50.
Well, the thing is, I'm analyzing lyrics on songs that are on Billboard charting albums. So I feel like that's in the public domain. Like, that's in the public space. I'm not reading his journal that he was writing himself. Like, I'm reading the lyrics of his songs that are on Genius.com and on the Billboard charts. So it's like, for me, I feel like it's fair game. Once that shit's mainstream, it's for everyone.
Speaking of fair game,
The whole thing with Von was the real killer. He was never capping in his raps. He really did what he said. If I made a video about some rapper that says that he's got 7 bodies and it's all cap, and I break it down and I say, yeah, it's cap, he never had the 7 bodies, that's not interesting. But the thing with Von, the reason why so many millions of people gravitated towards him was because he was supposedly like the realest rapper who ever did it, who really killed people. So,
Wouldn't
okay,
matter.
how about this, right? The Chicago police say that King Von was the prime suspect in the murder of K.I., who was the female gang member that he had allegedly shot and killed, right? And Von is in the A&E documentary, himself doing an interview, talking about her, saying like, damn, you know, when she got killed, I didn't have no one to hang out with no more. And he allegedly was the prime suspect in her murder. So it's like, this is the kind of crazy shit that Von was doing. He was actually in the documentary about people he killed. So it's like, for people to be like, yo, he wasn't really like that. Like, Trap Lord Ross is like adding too much sauce. But like, Von was legit in documentaries about people he killed. And it's like, bro, like, for me to come along and make a documentary, there's been hella documentaries about it that Von was in, talking on people he killed and making fun of the situation. So it's like, for me, it's like, what I'm doing, I feel like, how's that any worse than like Von actually killing someone and actually being in the documentary about the person he killed?
I feel like street niggas can't really like whine no more because they don't want to do it. Meaning this, right? Like, who's gonna do the
wine anymore. You niggas can't cry when motherfucker fuck around and hurt one of y'all out here. That's what y'all. Then it's gonna be a whole different mixture. We can
We
say
want
all
crowd,
the
we just
shit
say,
we want
say,
to.
hey,
No.
911,
Y'all gonna really
you
be
feel me?
crying.
Yeah.
Man, call 911. Some niggas ain't gonna give a fuck about that, homie. It takes 60 seconds, if that, not even 8 seconds, to get at your ass, nigga.
But
see how fast
gonna
the
do 100
police
years
are.
behind that.
How is
Unless
it-
you live with the police every day, nigga.
But how is it gangster to hurt?
Let's be honest. The main thing that Hellcats and Sharp have a problem with Trap Lil Ross is that they perceive or they feel or maybe they know or maybe it's they actually see that Trap Lil Ross is not from the same culture of the content that he covers in his documentaries. But here's the thing. This is the internet. Anybody can put whatever content, whatever they want on YouTube, on Facebook, or whatever platform. And what decides what things stay up is the people watching. So if more people are watching Trap Lil Ross's content despite the fact that he's not from the culture that he is covering in his documentary or content, then Trap Lil Ross is going to continue what he needs to do because one, everybody knows, right? Trap Lil Ross is a full-time YouTuber. This is what he does to pay the bills. It's not the people like the Hellcats. It's not people like the Sharps. It's the people that are continuing to contribute to Trap Lil Ross's views on his documentaries, right? The more views he gets on his work, he's going to continue that type of work, right? If people don't like what he's putting out, people are just not going to watch it, and then Trap Lil Ross either has to stop what he's doing or transition to something else. So as simple as that. He's basically, Trap Lil Ross is giving the people what they want. But with the logical points displayed by Trap Lil Ross, it frustrates a feeble mind like Sharp, to the point that Sharp even talks about physical violence.
Every day, nigga.
But how is it gangster to hurt a blogger, a vlogger, a YouTuber? Like that's not like how's that gangster? Like you're a reporter, you know? Like what's like? I just don't see how there's points to be scored hurting people like me or Vlad or Flocko. Like
I'm
what's
just
the
telling
point?
you what comes with it when you play them games. We all face that over here, dog. We all got to kind of watch what we say because we kind of know in anything that we say or do.
We should condemn that, though, right?
We on
anything
American
we say or
soil.
do, we can have consequences for, bro. In the streets don't give a fuck, my nigga. They don't show love to nobody that don't deserve it. You got to really earn it, dog.
But what did I say that was so bad that like that someone would want to hurt me like that? Because even Von's,
I'm
a
just
lot of
telling
Von's
you
people
what
have kind of
happens.
said that it's like
Hey.
they respect it.
My mans, I'm just telling you what comes with it.
Hey, I don't think beating up a blogger is considered cool. Then again, I guess if you cannot use your words, you choose violence. Funny enough, Trap Lil Ross points back at both Hellcats and Sharp that they both work for Adam22.
To get out the streets. It's really not too many people that ain't in the streets that just insert their motherfucking self in the streets for no fucking reason than to say that I'm a fan.
But I'm not actually in the streets. I'm not inserting myself in the streets. Like, how is what I'm doing any different to Adam
get it.
having a
Yes.
rapper on here and asking him about all the murders? Like,
Yeah.
We get it.
Yeah.
Let's,
You know what I'm
let's
saying?
get into this. Hey, we appreciate you for even saying what you had to say about it, you know what I'm saying, and giving up some answers to how you
Whoa! Did you see Sharp make that transition? Shout out to Little House Phone. Basically, what it comes down to is both Hellcats and Sharp don't like the fact that somebody like Trap Lil Ross is covering the subject matter he's covering. They rather have someone who looks like a Paul Wall to be doing the type of things that Trap Lil Ross is doing. But let's be honest, somebody who spends all day doing research, editing, going through material, whether it's rap related material or gang material, and then creating these, screenplays and things needed to make these video documentaries is probably not going to be someone who's trying to be the next Slim Jesus, right? Yeah, we know somebody maybe like a 1090 Jake who does maybe similar work, but he's the exception. Normally, somebody who's trying to be like the next Paul Wall, try to be the next rap star, isn't going to be as, let's say, research focused on trying to go through hours and hours of work trying to make these long documentaries. It's probably going to be someone who looks like a Trap Lil Ross. Later in that same news segment, No Jumper host Brick Baby shows up and defends Trap Lil Ross. Look closely at Hellcats and Sharp's reaction.
Hey man, it's love, bro.
hey, what's good, Brick? Am I in trouble?
Nah, hell nah, man. You doing your job. Hey, what I text you, Josh? I'm a fan, bro, to keep doing your thing. Hey, and like I said, if a motherfucker killed a motherfucker and the world can put it together, then you go into jail. You know what I mean? In these words, in this world. But I'm gonna just leave a question mark on top of that shit. I don't know what you talk about.
Okay,
Trap
well,
Lord.
here's my question for you then. This is the $1 million question for you.
Brick Baby is a fan of Trap Lord Ross, while you clearly see Sharp and Hellcat stay silent. Funny that when it's no longer a tag team, now it's Brick Baby and Trap Lord Ross versus Hellcat and Sharp, things change. It's like what the WWE wrestler Rock once said, know your role and shut your mouth. In this next clip, Trap Lord Ross goes on the offensive, and we're not talking about hotels, but Trap Lord Ross even mentions checking in.
It's crazy to see you in the flesh, bro. Can I check in?
Yeah, for sure.
checked in?
For sure. You come check in. Check in. We going to Adam's party. Come to the studio and check in.
Hey,
Come on, bro.
Adam's party's due to be crazy, bro. Seems
Yeah.
like the guest list is about to be out of control.
He happy to check in. That motherfucker say, "Can I check in?"
Yeah, he checking in. Nah, it's good though. I you know what I'm saying? A lot of people hate on you. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people love you. Everybody watches it.
Overall, Hellcat and Sharp are just mere haters and don't like Trap Lord Ross. And they're going to come up with whatever reasoning why they don't like Trap Lord Ross. And here's the thing. As long as people are still watching Trap Lord Ross's documentary and his content, he's still going to put up related content, even if it's gang related or rap related. So as long as people still watch, Trap Lord Ross is still going to produce the content that people are going to see. And that's the bottom line. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, put a like and subscribe. Put a comment below if you got something to say about it. I'll see you all next time.